What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for popping into my review for what I believe to be Marvel Studios' 35th film, Thunderbolts. What is Thunderbolts? Well, you're going to have to watch the movie to find out. But the Thunderbolts themselves, the crew of mercenaries who have worked for Valentina in the past, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, come together to take her down. There's been a lot of hype around this one since the early screenings came out, and I was a little worried. And I got to tell you, it dampened some of my excitement for the film because you see every time a Marvel movie comes out anymore, it's like, we're back, we're back, we're so back. And I'm just kind of sick of that. So I don't even really look on social media that much anymore, but that just kind of got old to me. So after seeing the film, I think we are definitely back, and we have definitely returned to form. Deadpool and Wolverine I liked, I didn't love. Captain America Brave New World I liked, I didn't love. Thunderbolts I loved, and I don't remember really loving an MCU movie like this since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I know that movie's only 2 years old, but the MCU has been pumping out a lot lately, not just in film, but on TV, and they put out a lot of garbage. Like She-Hulk is one of the worst things that I've ever witnessed, actually. I just got done watching Daredevil Born Again. I didn't do a review for the series. I wanted to find time to do it. I just didn't get around to it. But I loved that show, and it's probably my second favorite MCU show behind seasons 1 and 2 of Loki. And the Thunderbolts is right up there in quality with seasons 1 of 2 of Loki and Daredevil Born Again. Florence Pugh is the lead of the film as Yelena Belova, who's dealing with a lot in her life and a lot of grief from the loss of her sister and the events that happened in the Hawkeye series and how she's living and how she's dealing with it. And you also have David Harbour returning from the Black Widow film as the Red Guardian. He is the heart and soul of this movie. He's also the standout of the film. He stole the film for me. His lines were great. His delivery was great. He's so funny, and he's probably my favorite current MCU character. You also have John Walker returning this from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the storyline that they give him is really sad and depressing in a way, but where he's at the end of the film, I was really satisfied with. You got Ghost returning in the film from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she didn't have much to do in that. She had actually probably more to do in that film than she does in this film. She plays the sidekick in this movie. Where you have the meat of the story is with Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, with Yelena Belova, and with the Red Guardian. I would say those are the three lead Thunderbolts, and the rest of them you can kind of forget about, even though the action I thought was great. And Taskmaster, if I'm going to mention the other Thunderbolt on the poster, looked cooler in this movie than she looked in the Black Widow film, but Taskmaster had nothing to do in the Black Widow film and has nothing to do here either. But Julia Louis-Dreyfus, along with David Harbour, I thought was the standout. You have the new character Bob, who I didn't know if I was just going to take him as a joke. I mean, who is this Bob guy that they're marketing to this film? You care about him. They set up his story really well, and by the time you really dive into it and you're in the third act of the film, keep in mind, the third act of the movie was, I think, the weakest part of it. The first two acts I thought were great. Even though I liked the way it wrapped up, that whole third act was there's a lot of visual stuff that I thought was really cool, and how the villain's power is really used. But the whole final climax bit, I wouldn't even say it was an action climax. I would say there was just more going on mentally, and I liked it, but it wasn't as an exciting of an ending as I think the movie probably should have had, because if we're talking about the great action in the movie, it probably peaked halfway through. But the movie does have good action, and it does have really good emotional moments. The direction is great. The score by the Oscar-nominated composer of Everything Everywhere All at Once scored this film and brought such a new sound and a new breath and life into the MCU, which I really enjoyed. I think that not all the humor works. I mean, it's an MCU movie, so can you really say that they're always going to knock it out of the park with their humor? They do mostly. Most of the humor does work. some of the humor doesn't work. And I think that that's a positive for the MCU because there's a lot of films that they put out where the humor, most of it doesn't work and only a little of it does. So this film is definitely on the right track with that. Visually, it was great. Some of the visual effects did stand out. I would say the film had like 75% completely finished CG. Some of it looked a little iffy. Some of those shots are in the trailer. And the main takeaway from this film is you care about the team going into the next film, which will be Avengers Doomsday. And I'm very excited to see their interaction with all of the other characters. So, Thunderbolts, I loved it. This was a great movie. It was a great MCU movie. It was a great film just on its own. This movie, I think anybody can watch, and you don't have to be a big MCU fan to really enjoy it. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm giving Thunderbolts a really high score, 4.5 out of 5 stars. A film I loved, and stay till the credits. Stay till the very end of the credits. There's 2 scenes, but stay till the very end. I think you're going to want to do that. So, guys, comment down below. Do you plan on seeing Thunderbolts? What's your thoughts on the current state of the MCU? And are you excited for Avengers Doomsday? A film that hasn't had a lot of setup, but I think this film does it in a really special way. So, guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72. And 2 apps I barely use, but I'm going to tell you what they are anyway. Instagram and TikTok at KangarooRises131. And that's better for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for the Thunderbolts. And until next time, over and out.